In breaking news tonight, an unlawful assembly has been declared in downtown Portland after a relatively small group gathered to protest police violence. Roughly 100 people met at the Justice Center downtown. In the last hour, they started moving, breaking windows at Starbucks stores. Members of the crowd have split up and are facing off with police in a few different spots. One video from the scene shows officers tackling and hitting a person as they started making arrests. But a different video shows what sparked this. A protester hit an officer. Before the guilty verdict was announced, Portland Mayor Ted Wheeler declared a state of emergency. He told the city to make plans for potential unrest, anticipating bigger protests had the verdict been different.